Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. There it goes. My volume wasn't quite peaking where it should be. Anyway, like I said, hope everybody's doing well. Oh, Jim said something. I have to click the dots to see. I can pin message. Okay, I see now. Okay. The whole Q&A thing, I was trying to figure it out. And after I already made it a Q&A, then it explained what I needed to do. Yeah, it's kind of goofy. What I really want to do is I see other channels. I know Prepper Nation does it. I've seen other channels do it. Now, I know Prepper Nation uses a program called StreamYard. I use Streamlabs is what I use. And I know it's an entirely different program. But I think it's called an overlay. I'm not sure what they call them, exactly what they call them though. But he can click on a message in his chat, and it brings it up like right on the screen, in front of everyone. And I use Streamlabs, which is a version of OBS, and I know it's got the capability. Pardon me. I just don't have the intelligence. So, and it's just not something that I've spent time digging into. But it would be nice. I'd like to be able to have that option that way, because sometimes you guys make really good comments or you ask really good questions. And the problem is when I cut out the intro later on after the show is over, before I go to bed, I chop out the intro. And then what that does is, make sure that everybody doesn't have to watch the intro song when they watch the replay. So anyway, when I do that, it wipes out the chat. And so the live chat is no longer visible when I do that. So I'd like to be able to put the questions up on the screen. That way, folks wouldn't need to rely on the chat to know what was asked or whatever. That's why I try to verbally say the question or whatever, just so people know. Looking up there now. Pope is Argentine and Argentina about to win the FIFA World Cup. That's biblical? Please, by all means, let me know where I would find that particular bit in there. Because if it's in there, I need to do some study. Not doubting you at all. It's just that's not something. I actually had a really good conversation. I have to reply yet to a lady on Southern Prepper 1. He's got a video up and a lot of good back and forth comments with the lady, and we were talking about the different signs that we're paying attention to and stuff like that. But that's incredible. I definitely would like to study more into that. I just don't remember anything in the good book that, and that's not surprising, by the way, that would relate to the World Cup or sports or lots of craziness going on, as I'm sure you're well aware. I don't know that there's really any one thing that really stands out above anything else today. Yeah, there was big news that came out today, but let's see. Messi is about to become the GOAT and will be dubbed the Messiah. It's all part of biblical stuff. Argentina are all about God and biblical prophecy. Wow. I will definitely look into that. I will definitely look into that. That's interesting. I do think that we are seeing things happening right in front of our eyes that are definitely indicative of the times that we are in. The Pope came out and gave a warning. We're going to talk a little bit about that. It looks like possibly the microchip situation might get a little uglier. I don't know. I can't say that for certain, considering exactly what it is that the chips that we're talking about. But the situation continues to deteriorate as far as Ukraine is concerned. I'm still in the same frame of mind that, this is more rumors of war than anything. And, but nonetheless, whether it's the real thing or the rumors of war, either way, it's going to appear on the surface the same. So, I just really don't buy. I mean, the amount of trade that we still have going on with Russia, because there's still a lot of trade between the U.S. and Russia, especially when it comes to energy. Yeah, we're still buying oil from Russia. So I really have a hard time believing that the two nations are really that much at odds with one another. If you wanted to hurt the United States, all these nations would have to do would be to stop exporting to us. That's all they'd have to do. If China just up and said no more, we would be in such a world of hurt. It's unreal. And it's simply because we have outsourced so many things. There are so many very important things that we no longer make, we no longer have control over, including medications. That is what concerns me the most. Fortunately, I'm not on medications. Jim's not on medications. Probably should be. But, it is what it is. So, but fortunately for us, we're not going to be impacted by a loss of, say, the exports from China. But there are a lot of people in the United States that are dependent on different medications that aren't even made here. And that's what worries me. That concerns me like none other. But, like I said, today, nothing too traumatic, I don't think, unless I missed something. But there was indeed a lot of news today, and it's just continuing down that path. I mean, I come here, and like I've said before, it gets old coming here. We spent, 2+ years coming here almost every day talking about COVID. That got real old real quick. But it was important, and it was news, and it was stuff we had to cover. And now I'm in the position to where I'm feeling the same thing about Ukraine. Because there's a whole hell of a lot of headlines coming out. But to me, it's a lot of drama mama stuff. And, not a lot of movement, so to speak. But I think that's about to pick up. I think we're about to see a change in the pace of this conflict. Again, I feel like I have to keep saying this disclaimer. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that the two countries are at odds with one another. And I'm not talking about Ukraine and Russia. I'm talking about the United States and Russia. I wouldn't doubt if there were deals made on Ukraine involving Russia. I just have a feeling that there is. I have a feeling the same about Iran. I think the countries make deals with other countries, and that is the new way that they do nation building, is backdoor deals. So, backdoor deals, one country just moves in on the other countries. They act like they're concerned. They act like they're going to intervene, but hold just short of actually doing anything. That's a lot of what we're doing with Ukraine, aside from the fact we're sending them billions of dollars worth of money and weapons. But as far as physically, I think we have a limited role. I don't think that we're not there. I just think we do have a limited role. And I think the biggest reason for that is that, all of a sudden, it came out that 200 U.S. service members were killed in battle. That would definitely pique a lot of people's interest, especially when we're technically not there. So, anyway, I got, let's see, it looks like 6 tabs open to talk about. Fun. And then the typical headlines, and that's it. So, as far as updates are concerned, let me think. As far as we're concerned, I can't really think of any updates off the top of my head. Same old, same old. Didn't get any content shot today. I do need to make myself some more ziti, however you want to say it. I probably didn't say it right either way. But I'm going to have to tie me a new set because, well, I had a set wear out, and I put on another fancy brand new set. And, I'll just say that my foot was on the zeet when I was pulling my pants up, and I broke the hook off. So, the only other set that I had already made are the ones that I kind of had set back for quote-unquote dress. And so that's what I put on, and I think I'm going to make a video on how I make them. It's not anything special, but I don't know. Maybe people would like to learn how to, or at least how I make them. I do the whole double helix thing. I think it looks 10 million times better than the other method. But anyway, I'll do a video on it. Probably get to that tomorrow, I'm thinking. Other than that, I don't have really any updates that I can think of. Just keep it on. That's about all anybody can do. Got a few more cans of potato shreds in today that we ordered last month. By the way, last I looked, there was still a good deal. Still a good deal on them. I can't speak tonight. I don't know why. I'm looking real quick because I checked the black. See, I'm telling you, I can't speak. I checked the black bean burger as well. Right now, it's currently $12.98, and I think they do have a limit of 4. Yep, $12.98 with a limit of 4 at Amazon, the black bean burger mix. And the potato shreds are still on sale at $8.14 per number 10 can. But they do give you warning that it usually ships within 1 to 2 months, so don't expect like you're going to get it tomorrow. Again, the cans that we just got today, we ordered a month ago, and we got 4 more cans coming, so it's just what it is, you know. You just have to put it out there and wait. The good things come to those who wait, and that certainly is the case when it comes to long-term storage foods as well. So anyway, aside from that, can't think of anything off the top of my head, so let's go on over to the web view. Got the Pope on a rope. Pope issues terrifying warning for future of humanity. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, his warning doesn't concern me too much. I was already concerned before he gave his warning. It says here, Pope Francis recently issued a terrifying warning for humanity, noting that there are dark times ahead. During Mass at the Vatican on Sunday, the Pope, 85, shared his vision of the world that has destruction and desolation given the UK's cost of living crisis, the Russia's war with Ukraine, and famine, to name a few. It's not really that hard to predict. All you got to do is pick up a Bible. The Mass was held to celebrate the Holy Mass on the Feast of Our Lady Guadalupe, which was officially yesterday, the 12th of December. The day, which is national holiday in Mexico, is the day the Virgin Mary appeared to a young man named Saint Juan Diego in Mexico City in 1531. I am going to have to reconsult. No, that was the... look. I can't remember when it is claimed. I'm not going to claim that it's true or not. And if I get the name wrong, I'm sorry. But Joseph Smith, he is the prophet. I believe that's the name of the original prophet that the Latter-day Saints... I don't want to use words like worship or whatever, but what have you. I don't know what technical word they use for it. I'm going to be careful of my language when talking about it because there's only one God I worship, and I'm not going to put anybody, whether it's Russell Smith or whatever, Joseph Smith, whether it's Joseph Smith, whether it's Mary or who, I'm not putting anybody in between me and the Father. No. Anyway, continuing on. Had to give my disclaimer there. Now, the Pope began by saying Guadalupe is being celebrated in a difficult and bitter time. It is a bitter time filled with the rumbling, I thought that said numbing, the rumbling of war, growing injustice, famine, poverty, and suffering, he said. So I've been having a really rough day with sinuses. And although this horizon seems bleak and disconcerting, with omens of even greater destruction and desolation, his divine love and his coming down to tell us, okay, that this too is, I've never seen that word, propitious. I guess it's propitious. Have you ever heard that word? It means giving or indicating a good chance of success, or favorable. Unlike this show. Continuing. Let's see. The religious leader also urged the congregation to be there for others who are generally forgotten by consumerist and indifferent societies. Elsewhere, to commemorate the holiday, the Pope said Virgin Mary welcomes people to cast aside their prejudices and fears that dwell in their hearts and to trust in the Lord. As believers in Christ, it's our responsibility to be credible witnesses of the love of Jesus Christ and decisive protagonists in building a new culture, he added. So, I don't know, I think the media is really kind of expounding on what he did say. It's not the first time he said things like that. In fact, I know of many times he said things to that effect. So, yeah, just another time. I don't look to the Pope for direction. Just saying. If you do, no offense, but let's see. This is the microchip situation I was talking about, and this won't necessarily affect everyone, and I want to make that clear. Let me read it. We'll explain some of it in here. Chinese computer processors using original technology developed by its producers will not be exported to other nations, including Russia, Business Daily Commerçant reports, citing a source close to the Ministry of Digital Development. This may affect potential plans for replacing chips produced by majors like Intel with alternative products. The reported restriction affects newer CPUs made by Lungsun Technology, which use the LungArc instruction set architecture, and ISA determines how a processor handles data, requiring adjustments of the operating system of a computer using it. LungArc was introduced in April of 2021 with the stated goal of making the domestic Chinese computer industry less dependent on foreign technology. The first CPU series using the new architecture was launched in production later in the same year. Yeah, it'd be hell if the Americans stole the technology and started to make our own. That'd be hilarious. Anyway, the best chipsets in China are used by the military-industrial complex, and that is the main reason why they are not available for foreign markets, the source was quoted as saying. A Russian industry group created to further trade with Asian nations indicated that the reported ban may be informal rather than explicit. As far as we know, there were no official statements so far about the export of Lungsun processors. In the event of the negative scenario, we have many ways for purchasing such products, including through smaller intermediaries. Vitaly Mankevich, the head of the Russian Asian Union, and industrials and entrepreneurs told Commerçant. Man, that's like 3 mouthfuls. Sanctions imposed on Russia by the U.S. over the crisis in Ukraine included an embargo on semiconductors using American technologies. U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo claimed in June that global exports of chips to Russia plummeted by 90% due to the restrictions. Part of the Russian government's response to Western trade sanctions was to allow parallel import through third nations without explicit consent of the original seller of a wide variety of goods from closed to nuclear reactors. Well, that's a little bit of a different product. Processors made by Longshan are general use, competing with similar products designed by global heavyweights like Intel and AMD. Purchasers of consumer electronics made through the parallel import scheme have so far been sufficient to meet Russian demand, according to Kommersant. But some companies ran pilot programs to explore the possibility of using Chinese chips instead of those from the West. Longshan was considered among the options, the Kommersant source stated. So, who knows how much of an effect this will have in the end as far as other nations and chips? From the way it sounds like to me, not really any difference. This is more or less them producing and using their own chips. So, what they haven't put in the market, they can't take out of the market. So, I don't think there's going to be much of a change. However, like with anything else, I always recommend that you check the motive, okay? What could be the motive of China producing their own microprocessor chips? Well, because if there's conflict with Taiwan, they ain't getting them there. So, my opinion, I think China is largely doing this to get independence, get their microchip independence, if you will, from Taiwan. Because if and when that day comes that, they peacefully unify them to death, then that'd probably be the end of chips for a while. So I think they're just kind of getting their own selves straightened out first. And if the United States had a damn clue in its head, it would be doing the same thing. I said if. To my knowledge, we really aren't doing squat about anything. We're not drilling for oil. We're not trying to get enough gas for the demand. No. And that we do, we're sending it, we're sending it overseas, and then you're footing the bill for the extra charges to ship it over there. Aren't you happy? Unbelievable. Telling you, I am not buying that this is all authentic. I'm not buying it. There are just too many outside factors that say otherwise. Russian alloy. Wow. I have no idea what's wrong with me tonight. Maybe more coffee. I can see the words. It's not like they're blurry, they're a little blurry, but I can see them enough to read them. I just can't speak. Try this again. Russian ally launches surprise military drills. The Belarusian Defense Ministry has announced a snap combat readiness check of the country's armed forces. A message on his Telegram channel said, on Tuesday, said that President Alexander Lukashenko had ordered the exercise. Well, because all military operates on Telegram. Belarus, which is one of Russia's closest allies, shares a border with Ukraine and also with neighbor member states Poland, Latvia, and Lithuania. By the way, I get why they're on Telegram. That's a Russian platform. I'm sure that it was secure. It's just a joke. The drills will be of complex character, the Post noted, explaining that the armed forces will have to move into the designated areas in the shortest possible time. The military personnel will also need to establish combat positions there, organize security and defense, and build crossings over the Niemen and Berezina rivers. Military also warned that traffic would be temporarily halted in several regions due to the movement of hardware and troops along the roads. Pardon me. In another post, the ministry published a few photos said to depict members of one of the units participating in the drills. Earlier this month, Lukashenko announced that Belarusian and Russian forces were preparing like a single force, a single army. The Belarusian president added that neither Minsk nor Moscow want war, but are working together to be able to repel any aggression. Back in October, the two countries announced the creation of a joint force in Belarus, citing NATO's increased military activity on the country's border. Lukashenko explained at the time that while Belarusian service members would make up the bulk of the force, more than 1,000 Russian soldiers would also be a part of it. Minsk also accused neighboring Ukraine of planning to conduct a strike on Belarus, something Kiev has vehemently denied. Officials there, in turn, have repeatedly alleged that Kremlin is trying to drag its ally into the fighting in Ukraine. Speaking during a government meeting earlier this month, Lukashenko assessed the situation on the country's borders as tense. He noted, however, that so far we've been able to deter a potential adversary from using military force against Belarus. Nevertheless, he called for vigilance as it was important not to miss signs that would indicate preparations for an aggression against our country. Let's see. Do you see anything on your end for the Q&A thing? Here, let me pop that thing up and see what happens. Pin your message, man. Yeah, there. It's pinned. I have no idea. This is typical me. I just press buttons, and one of these days it's going to be the button. No, I'm kidding. They would never trust me anywhere near that. Anyway. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got another option, too. Oh, okay. I could unpin it. I'll unpin it so it doesn't stick up there. I can end the Q&A. I've never done any of this. Oh, you left a question? Where do I see it? I posted the message that I saw you say, but you said you left a question. I'm wondering where that would be. Because, I mean, that's kind of a cool feature. I'd like to figure that out. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Top chat. Oh, I got it. I see, said the blind man. Questions. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Let me find it. What? I can't pin it? Why can I not pin that question? Oh, wait. Select question. Oh, yes. Sweet. It did it. Okay. I guess it did it. Shows up on my end. Do we rely on China and Russia to manufacture our ammunition? Well, not for the most part. For the most part, our ammunition is manufactured here in the United States. I don't know if we're really importing many, I wouldn't think we'd import a whole lot, but maybe bullets, and I don't know who we would be importing them from for our U.S. military. And the reason why I say is because, for instance, Russia doesn't use 5.56. I don't think they do, unless that changed. That could have changed. I don't know. I haven't been shot by a Russian lately, so can't tell you. I don't know if we get any ammo from any other country, to be honest. I know that a lot of it is domestically made. So, and I know right now, at least the last I recall, it was actually, I think there was a ban on Russian surplus ammo. And I don't know if that ban was ever lifted or not, but I'm pretty sure there was a ban on it. So, Yep, that's apparently how it works. And then I guess I can click that. Yeah, okay. And then it goes away. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. Thanks for doing that, because that helped me understand what this is about. And I think that is a pretty neat feature, in my opinion. Let's see. I was looking to see if Jen had a button where she could ask a question, but she's a mod, so she might not have the button. I don't know if it's a button or what it is. Let's see. Continuing on, is this the one I just, hang on. Let me look. Yep, that's the one I just read. I wanted to make sure. Oh. I see it now. Okay. That's cool. But then I guess I have to remember to check that. Huh. That's cool, though. I like that. Let's see. Next up, NATO faces very real weapon shortage due to Ukraine, says a U.S. envoy. And this is something that I'm increasingly getting more and more concerned with, because, you know, not only are we printing all kinds of money that we're sending over there, but we're also sending a bunch of weapons. And I get it. I get that they're, for the most part, not sending anything, you know, of the latest technology, so to speak. But nonetheless, they're still weapons. And, you know, I don't like the way the cards are stacked right now. I think we ought to be holding on to our weapons. Anyway, it goes on to say almost all NATO countries face depleted weapons and ammunition stockpiles due to the amount of armory that they've sent to Ukraine, U.S. Ambassador to the bloc, Julianne Smith, admitted on Tuesday. The U.S., NATO, and the EU are all working on urging the Western military industry to ramp up production to deal with the shortfall. How do you like that? Speaking at an event hosted by the CSIS think tank, Smith used the example of Estonia, which has given a massive quantity of aid to Ukraine and is now facing some very real shortfalls. Now, I don't know. I could have missed it. It's very possible I could have missed it. But did we ever stop being under a state of emergency for COVID? Because the last I knew, we were still under a state of emergency for COVID. And all of those rules still apply. What I mean by that is it's like the War Powers Act or something. It's the about production. I don't know if that's the same thing. But anyway, they can basically make companies produce goods for them. They can actually take over industry and make them chip in for the war effort. I really think you're going to see that. I do really think you're going to see that. Anyway, this goes on to say, let's see. Speaking at an event hosted, let's see. I read that part. They are not alone. We see that across the alliance writ large, the U.S. permanent representative to NATO said. While the contact group for Ukraine is focused on organizing deliveries to Kiev, NATO has tasked the Conference of National Armaments Directors to deal with the problem of declining stockpiles across the alliance, said Smith. Meanwhile, the EU has launched a separate initiative aimed at the military industry. Lots of flowers are blooming here, Smith told CSIS, adding that the key is to find connective tissue so that the EU, NATO, and the U.S. work together and not at odds. From what Smith explained, all of these efforts are aimed at persuading the military industry in the West to expand production. Huh. I may have read all that a second time. I don't know if I did, to be honest. I get squirreled so bad anymore. However, This isn't cool, in my opinion. I do not like the idea of building the military-industrial complex, and that's what they're doing. And I think that I honestly think there's reasons why they never ended that state of emergency, and I think you're going to find those reasons real quick. I think they're going to. I mean, they've already been really overstepping their bounds, but I don't think we've seen anything yet. I think they are really, really going to be overstepping their bounds soon enough. I think you're going to see all kinds of stuff get nationalized. Or at least they're going to try. Let's see. Got 2 more open. Probably going to be an easy, quick night tonight. That's good. I still got to get trash out, so that works. I've been holding off because we are getting heavy sleet. Fun times. UK admits it sent troops to Ukraine. Oh, that was real bright. British Royal Marines conducted high-risk operations in Ukraine in April. Lieutenant General Robert McGowan wrote in the force's official journal. Before McGowan's admission, Russia claims that NATO troops were active in Ukraine and had been dismissed by Western analysts and media. Members of the 45 Commando Group of the Royal Marines left Ukraine in January after evacuating the British embassy in Kiev to Poland. However, some 300 members of the elite unit were sent back into the country in April to reestablish the British mission in Kiev, before going on to conduct other discrete operations, McGowan wrote in the Forces magazine, according to a report by the Times on Tuesday. These operations took place in a hugely sensitive environment with a high level of political and military risk. McGowan, who formerly served as Commandant General of the Royal Marines and is now Deputy Chief of Defense Staff at the Ministry of Defense, stated. While McGowan did not elaborate on what kind of missions the commandos carried out, his statement marks the first time that the UK has admitted its troops conducted special operations in Ukraine. The Ministry of Defense refused to confirm earlier accounts of the British Special Forces training Ukrainian troops in Kiev in April. Russian President Vladimir Putin has described the conflict in Ukraine as one between Russia and the entire Western military machine, and claimed in September that there are entire military units in Ukraine under the de facto command of Western advisors. And I couldn't agree more. Not that I'm taking a side, but I think that there have been a whole lot of people involved for a whole long time. And I think we're about to see that soon enough. Because again, whether it's a con job or whether it's the real deal, what we're seeing unfold, I do think you're going to see a massive escalation soon, either way. Because, even if it is a con job, they're going to follow through with the motions of war because they want you scared, they want you hungry, they want you poor, so they can offer you the New Deal. Such nice people. U.S. will send Patriot missiles to Ukraine, says CNN. The administration of U.S. President Joe Biden is finalizing plans to send Patriot missiles to Ukraine, CNN reported on Tuesday. Kiev has been requesting the American air defense systems for months as Russia continues strikes on Ukrainian military and infrastructure targets. The plan is in its final stages and needs approval from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin before it can be sent to Biden's desk for his signature, the report stated, citing 3 expected and an announcement could be made soon this week, the officials told CNN. A single Patriot missile battery comprises a power unit, a command station, a radar unit, and antenna, and up to 8 truck-mounted launchers, each holding 4 surface-to-air missiles, developed by U.S. defense contractor Raytheon. The system has a range of up to 99 miles and can intercept incoming missiles or aircraft. The Patriot system was tested extensively during the Gulf War, with the Pentagon claiming it successfully intercepted 45 out of 47 Iraqi Scud missiles during the 6-week conflict. However, the Israeli military later revealed that one or possibly none of the Scuds were actually intercepted, while a 2017 New York Times report found the Patriot system ineffective when used by Saudi Arabia against Houthi missiles fired from Yemen. It is unclear how many Patriot systems the U.S. will send to Ukraine. If they don't work, doesn't matter. CNN wrote that the missile batteries will first go to a U.S. Army base in Grafenwohr, Germany, where Ukrainian crews will be trained to operate them. The network also noted that training on the Patriot platform normally takes multiple months. So, then it goes into about what we've already sent them and all of that. It's absolutely nuts. It really, truly is nuts. And I honestly think they were being straight about the effectiveness, or I should say the lack thereof of effectiveness, because I don't think they are. I do not think that many of the weapon systems are effective that we have. Just not. We're behind. I can't help that. I didn't do it. But we had several administrations that sat on their hands when it came to our defense. And all the way going from, say, Bush Sr., all the way up to Trump, and I'm not jumping on his bandwagon, but that was one thing he did. He started pumping money back into the military. That's the first time since Reagan that there has been a major effort to get our military up to speed. Mind you, to my knowledge, our nuclear missile bases, the actual software that they launched the missiles with, still resides on a floppy disk, if that information is still true and correct. They may have updated by now, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But, let's see. And then, again, you know, if it's just the launch systems, maybe simple is better, you know? I can definitely see that as being logical. As long as all the other equipment is updated, then, you know, the actual launch systems themselves, it really doesn't matter if they run on DOS or if they run on Windows 11. As long as they work. All right. Time for bed. No, I got the headlines. Damn it. I got to drink some coffee. I am sucking that cup down, I'm telling you. All right. Fun times. All right, let's do some headlines, and I can do my manly duties of taking out trash. FTX founder arrested in Caribbean. Well, sucks to be him. There was a lot of people that were speculating for a while that he wasn't going to be arrested, that everybody was just going to turn a blind eye. I really don't know a whole lot about this stuff. I don't know a lot about crypto. I don't know a lot about this kind of stuff. But I have a feeling that this guy is going to get got. I mean, as far as he's going to be put behind bars for a while. I get the feeling this is going to be another Bernie Madoff type of thing, as far as charges and punishments and all that stuff. U.S. to coordinate North Korea sanctions with Asian allies. Sweden facing worst economic slump in the EU, says Bloomberg. A dismal outlook issued for British economy. Zelensky repeats demands to G7 leaders. Let's see. Pro-Bolsonaro crowd riots at Brazilian police headquarters. EU nations lodge formal protest over Macron comment, says Reuters. China sues U.S. over chip ban. Controversial Biden gender fluid official loses job. You know, that thing that kept stealing the purses, handbags, whatever they called them. Yeah, that cat, the dude with the bright red lipstick. It just blows my mind. It really blows my mind. I don't get it. I don't think many people do, to be honest. But I'm trying to get it to make sense. Make it make sense. I mean, Biden takes office and starts filling all these positions with people that are completely and totally underqualified for the positions. But he puts them in the positions because of some stupid social quirk of theirs. It's mind-blowing. It is maddening. I don't know. I wished I could say my thoughts. I really wished I could say my thoughts, but I can't because this really isn't a free country. West facing existential choice, says Moscow. Russia reports budget surplus on booming energy profits. India accuses China over Himalayan border unrest. Let's see. China restrict... Oh, I covered that one. Ukraine running out of vital weapons, says Financial Times. A major... You mean we are, because we're giving them to them. Major crypto exchange halts stablecoin withdrawals. A country bordering NATO... Oh, I actually read that one. Kremlin dismisses Zelensky's plan. Hong Kong slams Google in Anthem Row. Yeah, this is a crazy story. Detransitioning ex-Navy SEAL warns kids against gender change. This guy was a member of SEAL Team 6. Yes, the SEAL Team 6. And decided in 2013 that he wanted to be a she. And after he went through all that ordeal, he realized that he really wasn't a she, and he wanted to be a he. And his quest to become a she has ruined his life. And I have heard story after story after story about people that have detransitioned and how much it has absolutely destroyed their life. It's troubling to me how much this is being pushed. Smoking banned nationally for future generations. That's in what country? Oops. New Zealand. I couldn't remember the country off the top of my head. Moscow's response to oil price cap is revealed. Eco-activists attack cement factory in France. How exactly do you attack a cement factory? With water? I mean, it's cement. Let's see. EU fires top official arrested in graft probe. Oh, yeah, by the way, I should have paid more attention to the first words. Eco-activists, that probably explains all of it. Russia reveals nuclear power ambitions. Oh, I don't think I read that one. That's kind of an important one. White House defends Fauci from Musk because, well, you know, the thing. Come on, man. UK endures worst strikes in a decade. Oh, missed this one. Russia reveals nuclear power ambitions. EU fails to agree on gas price cap. Well, that's fine, but you're still going to pay what Russia wants you to. Otherwise, they just turn it off, yo. Peace advocates seen as traitors in the EU, says former Austrian Vice Chancellor. And that's what blows my mind, by the way. You've got these nations talking about price caps on Russian energy, and it's like, how exactly are you going to go about this? Because I believe that Putin is, and again, this is if everything's on the surface, and I don't believe it is, but all he's got to do is turn that tap off. That's all he's got to do. I mean, you can't make them sell you fuel. Let's see. U.S. accuses FTX boss of conspiracy and fraud. EU members agree on candidate status for Balkan state. Twitter labels Norwegian PM as Nigerian official. And they don't seem to be amused. Dictionary expands definition of a woman to now it's a whatever the hell. I guess. I don't know. Republicans want MAGA, not Trump, says a poll. You know, and when that headline came out, I thought about it for a little bit. I don't know. It might be right. I don't know. You know, I can only go by what I see, and I do see a lot of support still for Trump, but I also see a lot of backing away. I don't think he's got near the support that he used to. So, that could be correct. I don't trust polls. U.S. nuclear bomber catches fire after emergency landing. The B-2. European country with fewer than 200 wolves to ease hunting rules. NATO faces very real weapons shortage due to Ukraine, says U.S. envoy. Read that one and that one. Just 1% of Americans view Russia as the top problem, says a poll. I would think that sounds about accurate, to be honest. I don't think most of us really give a damn about what's going on over there. Not the majority of us. Most of us are, you know, thinking about our own country and what we need to do to fix it. Too bad the leadership don't get on board with that. U.S. man convicted after buying Lamborghini with pandemic funds. And hell, I'm still waiting for my F-15 from Biden. This dude is driving around in a Lamborghini. Well, he was. Pope issued... Oh, I covered that one. U.S. categorically... I'll try it again. Categorically rejects provision of UN resolution on Kosovo. Biden administration claims energy breakthrough. I did a report on that earlier. It's a different article than that. Zelensky aide accused Musk of hiding war from Twitter trends. Massive fire at NYPD evidence warehouse. I bet they had a hell of a good time. France convicts 8 over Nice attack. Well, if it was an attack, it wasn't very nice, was it? Now, nice is in where it happened. Not making light of what happened there. Just making light of the headline. Anyway. I don't have anything more up there. Nope. Alrighty. All I can tell you is keep at it. Keep stacking, stacking, stacking. As much food as you can. You know, and I've said it before and I'll say it again just because I think it's important. Even I fell for the whole food isn't sexy thing, so I'm going to get this and this and this and this and this first. And it's playing a game of Russian roulette. It truly is. So if you don't have food squared away, please look at food a little more than the fancy gadgets. Get that taken care of. Then go after fancy. Don't do it like me. Because I fell for the same trap that many of us fall for. And I'm not an impulsive person at all. I am like, I reject impulse, right? You know how the shorts are real popular, the short videos? They're real popular on YouTube, on Facebook, and all that. I refuse to click them. I will not click them. That is very much an impulse thing, and that's what they want. They want you to click on them. They just want to shorten your thought process. That's my opinion. I think that's what they're trying to do. And I won't click on them. There's a lot of things that I won't click on that a lot of people would normally click on because they get baited into it. I've talked about before YouTube thumbnails. There's a 99% chance that if I see the person that has the channel with a stupid look on their face pointing at something on the thumbnail, there's a 99% chance I'm not going to click on that video. For one, that level of vanity is just sickening, for one. And for two, if you have to do that, if you have to make a display of yourself to get people to click, not only are you sick, but so are the people that are clicking on your videos. I'm just saying. Just saying. So I'm not an impulsive person, and that includes with buying stuff as well. I'm somebody that I take time. I really do my research. I know what the product is that I'm going to get before I click the add to cart button. I don't buy it first and then hit the Facebook groups and ask questions later. You wouldn't believe how many people do that, by the way. Trust me, I see it all the time, whether it be in the drone groups, whether it be in the solar generator groups. No matter what groups I'm in, I see it. Tons of people that buy stuff and have no idea what they're buying. And it's scary. No, we haven't. We haven't tried either one yet, the potato shreds or the black bean burger. I keep saying, and this is what I keep saying, well, once we get a few more cans, then I'll open one up. I guess I'm not comfortable enough yet at what we have. So, but I do. I want to. I want to open up a can of black bean burger mix, and I want to open up a can of potato shreds. I don't need to open up the butter powder, the honey powder, the, cheese blend powder. I don't need to open. I know what that stuff's going to be. So, but I do need to definitely open up a can of the potato shreds. From what I hear, from reading reviews and stuff like that, from what I hear, people love them. There's a fair amount of people that have actually incorporated them into their normal meals because when you can get them on a good price, that's a really good deal. And they say it tastes good. That's why they do it. It's quick, it's easy, it's good. And so far, everything I've heard about the black bean burger has been positive too. I don't think I've heard anybody say anything. I'm sure there are negative, reviews and stuff out there, but seems like the majority of the people like it, and some people even say they like it enough that they would eat it once in a while normally. So I think that says a lot. So we need to do that, though. We need to do that. And I probably need to do some video content because you know me. I'll tell you straight up. If it tastes like crap, I'll tell you it tastes like crap. I'm not afraid to tell you that. I need to do that. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make plans to do that. I'll not just make up some, but I'll do some in an SHTF kind of way, with the little 533 dual fuel stove and all that good stuff. Maybe we'll get that done. So, I don't know if we'll get to it this week or possibly this weekend, but I think we're going to do it. Yeah, I know. Hexafoo said, I keep hearing stories of people not enjoying their long-term storage food after they bought many cases. Hey, I agree. I'm going to be honest. I was going to bring this up, and I totally forgot about it. This reminds me. But there are now two things in Mountain House, because we got those Mountain House packs, and I've been going through trying out the different things. And the last thing I tried was the stroganoff, the Mountain House stroganoff, and it, in my opinion, it sucks. It sucks. It was nasty. The Legacy Food Storage, their stroganoff, good. It is delicious. right? I was hoping for that, right? I had my taste buds already. I was ready for some good beef stroganoff. Yuck. So I didn't care for the Mountain House beef stroganoff. What was the other one? A vegetable soup or something like that, I think. There was another one. I'd have to look again. There was another one that, I think it was like vegetable beef soup or something like that, and I didn't like it either. I call it chicken pot pie because that's what it tastes like. The chicken and dumplings. Oh my goodness. From Mountain House, the chicken and dumplings are delicious. It tastes just like a chicken pot pie. The cheap banquet chicken pot pies you throw in the oven. And those things, I love the taste of those things. I don't know, it is what it is. I like McRibs too, so yeah, that tells you a lot about my taste. There were a couple of others, though, from Mountain House that I really liked. I can't remember off the top of my head what they were, but I need to sit down. I need to do a video of trying out the potato shreds, the black bean burger mix, and I need to go through the different Mountain House flavors I've tried and give you my opinion on them. So, if I'm correct, I think it stands at 3 were good, 2 were bad on the Mountain House. So, I'll know whenever I start pulling the packages out and seeing the names of them, I'll remember. So, anyway, I am going to run out of here and go get some trash out and get me some shut-eye. Anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. Thank you very much for coming. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow night, and I hope to see you then. As always, God bless you, we love you, and be one with your spirit.